A new warning sign about the state of our economy and the financial struggles Americans are facing. Dollar General is slashing sales and guidance for the year, saying on the call today that their core customer, the lower income consumer, feels financially constrained. What does that mean when even Dollar General prices are too high for millions of Americans? Let's bring in KB Advisory Group founder Kristin Bentz. And Kristin, is it just a Dollar General story? I mean, what are you seeing with the other discounters as well right now?
Well, it's not even discounters. Starbucks said there's softness in the economy. Disney said there's softness with their consumer. Home Depot said there's, softness with the consumer. I don't think it's just a dollar store problem, but it does beg the question, where do you go when you trade down from dollar stores?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's a big red flag to me. They started closing stores and announced store closures about 3 or 4 months ago. So that's when you knew cracks were starting to show in the consumer, which, my belief is we've been in a recession for about a year anyway. And, BLM numbers aside, when you really look at the consumer and what they're doing and how they're spending, there's problems out there. And so this is just indicative of what's really happening in the real economy. And there is a disconnect between Main Street and Wall Street.
Yeah, exactly. The disconnect between the markets and what the economy, at least the forecasts are telling us, even though we've had, a consumer confidence number that surprised me. But at the end of the day, we still have this talk about a recession coming. If that does happen, what type of stocks would you have in your portfolio? Wouldn't you want the discount names in there?
You would think, and we talk about this bifurcated economy all the time, right? For years and years, there's the high end and the low end, and invest in the high end and the low end, and the middle is kind of cross-cut, right? But now all bets are off. So I always recommend this core 4 stocks in my portfolio to my customers. That's Nike, Lululemon, Restoration Hardware, and Louis Vuitton. You might think those are more high-end names, but they're supremely managed to weather consumer confidence issues, pandemic issues. So when in doubt, invest in a company that really has strong management and can weather the storm.
Yeah, well, okay, I mentioned that consumer confidence issue. So we've got some surveys that say that consumer confidence is rising. And then you've got, forecasts coming, especially that housing data that we got today, which was rough. We're going to talk about that with my next guest. But how do you explain all the differing pieces of information that we're getting of investors? Because it seems like you get one story and then you get the opposite.
Right. It's so muddled, and it really is hard to follow all the noise. And you really have to kind of pick your stocks wisely, and you can't just follow one, area of the consumer. Obviously, I love Walmart here. Something that was interesting in their earnings that came out is their biggest increase in cohort consumer were consumers that make $100,000 or more. So think about that. You got a high-end consumer basically trading down and flocking to Walmart. So that would be a stock that I would be very interested in a market like this. It's strange. You really have to look at Ross and TJ. So those are off-price stores that are not having a problem. So it's a very granular market. You really have to study the consumer properly, and you really have to study your stocks properly.
Yeah, that's always good advice, and especially when you're trying to start to pick winners and losers. We do have Lulu after the bell. One analyst calling this company a, quote, disaster right now. Is this something that you would take a play or an interest in?
Wow, that's rough, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I really love this stock. I advised my customers to take money off the table in May. Things got a little rocky there. I do think in the long haul, honestly, I would buy in a downturn. I would buy if they, reduced guidance today. I think I would be constructive if the stock were down today. I think it's a great name. I think their menswear business is really taking market share from a lot of other athletic retailers right now. So I don't think it's a train wreck per se. I don't think it's a disaster. But I would be constructive if they did have, a little bit of a softness in their number. I would definitely accumulate here.
Before you run, I just have to ask you about Target. You and I haven't spoken in a while, but that's one of the stocks I track to see where the entire sector is.
Okay, so Target had a lot of self-inflicted wounds. So this last number that everybody thought was such a great blowout, really they're just trying to get their act together. Remember, they had all that inventory that they had last August because of the shipping crisis, and then they had to discount it. It was a nightmare. they're kind of regaining their footing. And yes, there's a consumer that really loves Target. Like, I walk in there and I like walk out $300 later. So I think everybody shares that same. It's like, you know, when you're like whining and priming and next thing you know, you ordered 10 kimonos. So it's the same with Target when you go in and you walk out with something you didn't really want.
The first time I went to
Supreme.
the first time I went to a super Target, Chris, and I walked out, I was so overwhelmed because it was great. It was a beautiful store. It was actually in Arizona. I walked out with champagne and cat toys because I didn't know what else I wanted to buy. It was just too much. But
oh my gosh!
Yeah, the store looked great at the time. So I am rooting for Target. I got to say. Final word.
The Scottsdale Targets are on point, let me tell you. With the Rydell wine glasses, you can't beat that. So, yes, I like it for a higher-end consumer. For a lower-end consumer, that dollar aisle, that's coming to get you.
All right.
So I do like Target here. I do think their management needs a little help, but we like Target.
Interesting. Kristin, it's always great to talk to you about retail. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Cheryl.
All right.